right. So, man, I'm looking at this on the hourly. This is the 30-minute, but we're kind of, we're sideways on the 30-minute. Short-term downtrend, but we're approaching sort of the bottom of this range. We've had this little consolidation down here, took out structure. So like, if we're gonna reverse, sort of now is the time for that to happen. And I don't know that it's going to. It's not really like a ton of volume down here that occurred on that reversal. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But overall, like for the time being, momentum's down, quite obviously. 5-minute, very short-term uptrend, up channel that we're breaking right now. So let's get rid of this. And this is the 5,000 tick. So again, you can just see, we're in this downward channel here from yesterday's overnight session into today. Just nice clean down channel. Bumped into this supply area up here. And we're reversing off that now. So like this would be a good place for this to come down and test these lows. So because of that, my bias is kind of on the session bearish, and we might get a little bounce in here. I put this little zone in here. We might get a little bounce in here. I put that zone there too. I'm not super confident about this one. Like I don't know that I would take a long there, especially if it's right at the open, which it could be at this point. It's just sort of middle of the range. I'd like for it to be, this would be better if we get something strong down here, but I'd have to see, I don't know, I'd have to see some good, I don't know that I would just go long upon hitting this zone. I'd probably want to see some sort of break of structure or something to the upside on the tick chart. So, we'll see, man. This almost looked like it was going to double bottom here where this support is. There's sort of this support resistance area here. And it kind of looked like we were doing a double bottom, but again, like on the big picture structure, this is a perfect place for this to reverse and start heading down and take these lows. And you got this little double bottom here, so really makes sense to sweep some liquidity out of there. Definitely would not be surprised to see that little liquidity sweep down there, or just continue on down into these lows here from last week. So that's what I'm watching. We broke this structure here. Question is, we're going to pause here or here? I can see either. We got that gap right there. There's no gap up here. So I don't know, this could be a short right here. So I think we could head down to the bottom of this channel. See what happens as it comes up into here. But I might actually try and take a short. Where that just sort of hit there. In here. If we break this, and we'll just get short. Just one contract micros, so it's not a lot of risk. Yeah, kind of order block, supply and demand zone, that kind of thing. It's been sort of my jam, add a little bit of volume profile for confluence and stuff. This one I'm not sure 100% about, but I think we might want to come into this lower zone. And yeah, I just go for 1-for-1s right now. I want to get up, once I start doing 3 contracts, I'll start leaving a runner. Do two scalp and 1 runner. Right now, just 1-to-1 risk. All right, got one. Like that. It was down about 35 yesterday, so that just makes up for that real quick. How's Mirenko's doing? Should probably turn my bot on to grab some of this, but now I don't know if I want to keep going short into these lows on the bot, so just pause for a second. We got this jam right here. I'm just cautious because there is this low here. We did start taking out structure off this low, so we might get a little bit of a rally. I'm not sure. Again, my bias for the day is down. How many ticks on that? What was that trade? Let's see. Got in here. Down to there. 35 ticks on that one. Yeah, right? I mean, you know, on micros, you got to go for those bigger moves on micros. Otherwise, commissions just chew into your profits too much. So, but this is cash, man. This is not Sim. This is not Apex. This is my cash account. So, just wanted to get back in the rhythm, starting with 1 micro. If I do good this week, I'll probably add another one next week. If I do good, I'll add another one the week after that. Get myself up to, it's about a $20,000 account, so I'll get myself up to about 1% account risk per trade. And then I'll just roll from there. They're doing all right. Next little while. So this might go long from here. I'm not just going to take it though, because we're kind of breaking structure to the downside. So I need to see us start breaking some structure to the upside before I get long. Plus, we got this overall bearish channel, and logic would tell us that we're going to take these lows down here. So I'm watching for that. I'm watching to take those lows. Might get another short in here if we come up. What does this look like on a 5 minute? 5 minutes just pressing down. So, but again, like, I don't think there's a lot of volume down here. Where's the volume? Yeah, so right about where we stalled right now, 96.25. So we get through that level, and maybe we start seeing more downside. Let's change that color just so you know. Say, POC. Alright, like that's, we hit that volume and stalled. So let's see. If we break this, honestly, you might short just right under this little low here though. If we break that, I think we go down and test the bottom of that range. We shall see, we shall see. Again, I'm just playing my cards kind of close today because I took a down day yesterday. I'm up overall in my cash account. But I'll keep it that way. I'm actually quite happy with All right, so at this point I was no longer live streaming, but what you're going to see here is that price kind of came up into that little um, demand area that I had drawn, and then I just put a sell order on a break of a candle. And again, just going for that one-to-one risk on these scalps because I'm just doing one contract, and we'll see how this plays out. All right, so you see here the trade's in profit, and I end up kind of trailing the stop down at this point and getting out of this a little bit early. You'll see it goes on to reach my original target. Part of what happened here was I was doing some stuff in my Apex account and forgot to switch my account back on my chart trader. So I actually took this trade in my Apex account instead of my cash account, which I did not intend to do. So that's why I just kind of trailed that and took it off a little bit early. But I mean, everything was looking good. I probably should have just let it go because it did ultimately go down and reach my target. All right, so now at this point in time, I've drawn this new demand area, and you can see there's a pretty good sell-off from that area. Again, this is the 5,000 tick chart, so you've got those, 3 or 4 nice strong candles in a row, and we took out the lows there. You can see that sort of double bottom on the left-hand side of the screen. And so I'm looking for some continuation downward. However, I'm not feeling super confident in this trade because we are kind of extended to the downside. We've had a few good pushes now. But, again, that last push was pretty good. We're coming up into this zone, and I decided I wanted to take another stab at it. Now you'll see I do adjust my target here. I take it at a little bit less than a 1-to-1 because I kind of realize, you've got these nice strong bullish candles now, and that little bit of a sort of demand area at that low there. So I decided again to kind of cut this one a little bit early. This was getting close to the end of the day for me, so last trade of the day, and I was up, and I was also still a little bit bummed that I accidentally took that last trade in my Apex account instead of my cash account. So I felt like my psychology wasn't like totally dialed in at this point, and I felt like I'd be really aggravated if this one ended up being a loss after I sort of missed out on that winner in my cash account. So I move the target from the 1-to-1 position. I move it inside of that demand area. You'll see I put it above that last purple bar before those 4 bullish bars that come up. And then I actually take it off even a little bit earlier from there, just because again, I wasn't feeling like I was in the right headspace, and I felt like if it did turn against me, I would be pretty aggravated. So you see I get my order in, at the break of that bar. And at this point, I'm just sort of waiting this out to see ultimately, how price trades into this. I'm thinking I may cancel the order if we push up a little bit higher. But you can see like where the 1-to-1 target would be at this point is sort of like in the middle of that demand area down there. And that just sort of sketched me out a little bit. So I end up moving my target in and kind of having an inverse risk reward on the trade, which already I don't love. And so again, like my headspace wasn't kind of quite where it should have been at for this trade. So we'll see how it plays out. All right, so I'm in the trade, and you're going to see here, you can see where the target is. It's sort of in the middle of that zone, and in a moment I'm going to move it up, and then you'll see I kind of trail the stop up tight behind it because I just wasn't feeling great about the way the price action was working out. Turns out it would not have hit the 1-to-1 target, so it was probably smart that I moved it to inside that zone. It would have hit this modified target, but I did end up taking it off even a little bit early from there. Just because I wasn't feeling great sort of mentally at this point in my trading. Again, I think some of that was due to missing that earlier winner, because probably if I would have hit that earlier winner in my cash account, I probably would have just been done and not even bothered with this trade. And so it's sort of like knowing that, I just felt like, you know, kind of take my money and run type situation when this trade was in profit. So you're going to see here that I move the stop up, and again, it would have hit this modified target, but you can see it's almost like a risking 2 to make 1 type situation. So if it turned against me, I would have been really mad, especially after missing that other winner. So it just sort of is how it goes, right? All right, so you saw me sort of playing with the stop there for a minute. Basically, I wanted to move the stop, but I wanted price to get a little bit lower first. And then when it kind of started turning against me, I brought it back up. So I was kind of waiting for it to get close to my target. I didn't want to take this off too early. But if it got really close to my target, I didn't want it to then just turn around and go against me. So you can see as it starts to get really close, this is where I start to bring the stop in. I'm adjusting my target a little bit. And then I kind of wanted it to just hit the target right there. So I bring the stop in a little bit more because at this point I'm just like, I didn't really want to be in this trade anymore. So I just wanted to kind of grab it where it was. And that was sort of it. That was the end of the day for me. So it's 56.25 before commissions, and turned out to be about 54 after my commissions. And that was my trading day. So hope you found this entertaining and helpful. And I will try to make some more of these. I'm going to be continuing to trade my cash count on micros, and I was sort of away from trading for the summer, so I'm using the micro account to just sort of get myself back in a nice rhythm here.